What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is your boy Yarn Craig, and we're back. And these WNBA playoffs are underway, guys. Go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel before I get to this video. So we had two games that went down on the first night of the playoffs. The Phoenix Mercury playing against the Las Vegas Aces and the Chicago Sky and the New York Liberty. And one of these series is going to be very interesting from here on out. So first, I'm going to go ahead and touch on the Phoenix Mercury and Las Vegas Aces. The game kind of went as I expected. I expected the Mercury to compete hard because that team has been playing, they've been playing their tails off, especially with no Skylar Diggins-Smith, no Diana Taurasi. They've been playing their tails off. But they hung in there tough until the fourth quarter, where the Aces just ended up just blasting them 28-17 in that quarter and running away with the game 79-63. Now, if the Mercury were going to win the game, this was it, because my pick for MVP, A'ja Wilson, she didn't really show up on the offensive end. She went 2 for 11, finished with 8 points. And like, man, you my MVP pick. You can't be doing that right now. But I gotta, again, if the Mercury were going to win the game, this was it right here. And they lost. The Mercury lost Shea Petty with a right leg injury. They don't know how bad it is. They say she could potentially miss the rest of the playoffs. Not that I was expecting the Mercury to win, but yet another blow. They can't catch a break this season. So, again, the playoffs. 2 out of 3 for the first round. You have to win 2 out of 3 games if you guys don't know. So the first team to 2 games will win the series. So the Las Vegas Aces are up 1-0 on the Phoenix Mercury. Moving on next. Now, this series is going to be very interesting. Looking at the New York Liberty and the Chicago Sky. The New York Liberty pulled out the win 98-91, and they did it in the it was a tight game pretty much all the way through, but they did it in the clutch. They went on the 13-0 run. They went on the 13-0 run to put away the defending champions in game 1. And I was just blown away because I'm like, this is Chicago's forte, like dealing in the clutch. They got a couple of the best clutch players in the entire WNBA. A matter of fact, I think statistically, Courtney Vandersloot is technically the best player in the clutch in the WNBA. And then, of course, you got Candace Parker, one of the GOATs. You got Kalia Copper, who's good at going to the rack and finishing. So I was just really surprised that this team and the clutch didn't pull through. With 6 minutes in the game, they were up 6 points. And they were down before that. When they ended up going up ahead 6 points, I was like, oh, Chicago's on the run. They're about to put the Liberty away. I was pretty much ready to write off the Liberty, but here come the Liberty storming back. Natasha Howard making big plays. Sabrina Ionescu made big plays. Maureen Jones off the bench, 8 points and 7 assists. Man, did y'all see the wraparound pass behind the back? That was probably the best pass of the season right there. But Chicago, they literally had production from everybody that got big minutes. I mean, Azrae Stevens off the bench gave you 16 points. Candace Parker gave you 17 and 10. Kalia Copper gave you 21 points. Vandersloot gave you 13 and 10 assists. Allie Quigley even came up big and gave you 18 points. So you would ask the question, how in the world do you lose this game? And they literally lost it in the last 5 minutes. And to be honest, I did not see a playoff intensity. I did not see a team that was afraid of losing. And that is a very, very, very dangerous thing to possess, that the fear of losing, because at this stage in the playoffs, where obviously 1 or 2 games makes the difference in the series, and with this being a 3-game series, now you cannot afford to lose 1 more game. This is something I got on the Chicago Sky earlier this season about. I felt like there were too many times where dealing with teams that were just simply nowhere near as good as them, the Chicago Sky would take their feet off the gas. And I said it, as a championship caliber team, everybody's going to be gunning for you. You cannot afford to have a bad game. And the Chicago Sky, they didn't have a bad game, but New York came with an intensity like they're in the playoffs fighting for their lives, because for the last 5-6 games or so, they've been fighting for their lives just to get into the playoffs. And they do not have a team you can slack off on. they match up well with Chicago. Sabrina Ionescu and Vandersloot. Natasha Howard can play with any player at that 4 spot in the WNBA. And then let's not forget about Betnijah Laney coming back, putting in 17 points. Man, and she is the X factor for this team. She was an all-star last season, and she's obviously kind of coming back into, she's still whipping back into shape, but she looks good. She looks good. She's been back, about 5, 6, 7 games now? And to be able to drop 17 points against the defending champs in a playoff game, that is huge. They're going to need that from her. Sabrina Ionescu did her thing, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and Natasha Howard did her thing with 22 points. Man, they're going to be a handful. Stephanie Dolson knows this team inside and out. She played well, 13 points, 7 rebounds. Chicago's got a dogfight on their hands now. And if they don't whip it together, if they don't find that playoff intensity and try to run the Liberty off the floor, Chicago Sky, it's not gonna be a parade in Chicago this season if they don't get it together, because that was not championship caliber basketball. It was not championship caliber basketball. So they're gonna need it. They're gonna need to get it together. They shot 72% from the free throw line. The Liberty shot 92%. They shot 28% from 3. It's not gonna get it done. They cannot get it done. And then they lost the assist battle 28-21. And that's Chicago's forte. They just didn't come with the right intensity. So tell me what you guys think. Obviously, hey, I was expecting the Chicago Sky Las Vegas Aces finals, but I got to put those thoughts on hold, because from what I saw from Chicago, the intensity was just not there. They made some shots and they played well. Overall, they played well. But I saw an intensity from the New York Liberty. They just wanted it more. They ran you off the court in the last 5 minutes of the game. That's your forte. You got Hall of Famers, legends on your squad. Anyway, that's my video though, guys. Tell me, do you guys think that the Liberty can pull off the upset and knock Chicago out of the playoffs? Go ahead, comment, like, subscribe. Peace.